If you walked into a video rental store in mid-1980s California, you'd see a man behind the counter. Thin, talkative, excited. He wouldn't just hand you a tape, he'd recommend films. He'd talk for hours. That man was Quentin Tarantino. And he didn't know yet. These years spent between shelves would rewrite cinema history. This is Quentin's journey from Tennessee's silent homes to Hollywood's brightest stage, and from there to a conscious silence. Choosing film shelves over school corridors, preferring endless movie nights over diplomas, and finally, transforming his memory into cinema. 35 scenes, 35 obsessions, 35 cinema moments, and perhaps for the first time, you'll see the quiet child beneath that rapid speech. March 27, 1963, in a small house in Knoxville, Quentin Jerome Tarantino was born. His mother, Connie, was 16. His father, Tony, wasn't there, and never would be. Quentin never knew his father. "Where's Daddy?" he'd ask. Connie wouldn't answer. She'd just turn on the television. Light came from the screen. Quentin grew up watching television, westerns, crime shows, black and white classics. He'd watch silently, for hours. His mother would work. He'd be in front of the screen. No one taught him how to speak. The screen taught him. He memorized dialogues, imitated characters. "I learned to talk from movies," he'd say years later. And it really was true. Connie moved to Los Angeles for a new life. South Bay area, Torrance. Quentin was 3. California was dreamland. But for them, just another home. Small, cramped, poor. But the television was still there. And now there were more channels. His mother took him to the cinema. Carnal knowledge. Adult film, not appropriate for children. But Connie brought him along. Quentin was 8. Dark theater, giant screen, sound coming from everywhere. In that moment, something changed inside him. Television was small. But here was different. This is my place, he thought, unknowingly. At school, Quentin was different from other children. Quiet, acted strange, learned to read late, mixed up letters, teachers worried. Quentin may need special attention. Tests were done. But Quentin wasn't sick. He just wasn't interested, because his mind was always elsewhere. Quentin got into fights. Often, he was angry without knowing why. "Why don't they understand me?" he'd think. There was no answer. Just fists, suspensions, his mother's disappointment. He quit high school at 15, didn't get a diploma, didn't graduate. "What am I doing here?" he asked himself. The answer was clear: wasting time. Real education was elsewhere, between shelves, in dark theaters. He started working at Pussycat Theater, porn cinema, cleaning, ticket sales. Quentin didn't watch the films, but he breathed the cinema atmosphere. Darkness, light, silence. "This is my world," he thought. There was a video rental store in Manhattan Beach, Video Archives. Quentin walked in one day, thousands of tapes. Horror, Western, Kung Fu, French New Wave, everything. "Can I work here?" he asked. The owner looked at him. "What do you know about movies?" Quentin started talking. An hour later, he was still talking. He was hired. He spent 4 years at Video Archives. Quentin was there from morning to evening, every day. He didn't just hand customers tapes, he changed lives. "Have you seen this film?" "No, but you should, because—" And he'd start explaining endlessly. He met Roger Avary, another film fanatic. The two would talk for hours, argue, dream. Quentin would do home cinema at night. Godard, Truffaut, De Palma, Scorsese, blaxploitation, kung fu, spaghetti westerns, Japanese samurai films. He watched everything. Didn't take notes, just wrote it inside himself. His memory was like a film archive. "I didn't go to university," he'd say proudly, "but I went to cinema every night, and that was the best school." He started writing. An old typewriter, cheap paper, screenplays. At first, bad ones. He wrote true romance, love and violence, wrote natural-born killers, media criticism, sent them to agents. Rejection came, again and again. Who are you anyway? Do you have training? You have nothing. Quentin didn't give up, because he'd learned between the shelves. Keep going. He started taking acting classes, not to make money, to understand actors. How do they think? How do characters live? How are dialogues felt? The classes changed his screenplays, made them more real. He and friends decided to make a film. 16 millimeter. My Best Friend's Birthday. Quentin directed, wrote, acted. No budget, terrible equipment, zero experience. The film wasn't completed. A fire broke out, copies burned. But Quentin learned something. I can do this. I just need a chance. He wrote a new screenplay, obsessively. Reservoir Dogs, heist film. But the heist wouldn't be shown on screen, just before and after. Dialogues, characters, betrayal, blood, tension. He showed it to a producer friend. This is different, the man said. Very different, but doable. The script reached Harvey Keitel. The legendary actor read it and called. I want to do this, he said. Quentin couldn't believe it. Harvey Keitel. He'd be Mr. White. And he didn't just act, he produced. Doors opened. The script reached Harvey Keitel. The legendary actor read it and called. I want to do this, he said. Quentin couldn't believe it. Harvey Keitel. He'd be Mr. White. And he didn't just act, he produced. Doors opened. Reservoir Dogs screened at Sundance Film Festival. The theater was dark. The film started. Dialogues, violence, those songs. The theater was silent, but it was a silence of attention. Then applause erupted. Quentin cried. Harvey hugged him. The Video Archives employee had become independent cinema's new face overnight. Interviews, festivals, offers, awards. Quentin was everywhere. He talked non-stop. Excited, childlike, genuine. An article came out. Coolness under fire. Quentin became the symbol of new cinema. But inside, that video store clerk was still there. Is this real? He'd ask himself. He worked on a new screenplay. With Roger Avary. Pulp Fiction. Different stories, different characters, different timelines, not chronological. Quentin wanted to break time. Cinema doesn't have to be linear, he said. It should be like memory, mixed, fragmented, but meaningful. Pulp Fiction competed at Cannes. Jury president was Clint Eastwood. Jury included Trier, Deneuve, Adjani. The film screened. 154 minutes, 3 stories, playing with time, those dialogues. Awards night, Quentin was on stage. Palme d'Or, Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino. Quentin cried, like a child. This, he said through tears, is the path from Video Archives shelves to here. The film wasn't just successful, it became cult. Everyone knew the dialogues. Royale with cheese. Say what again? Ezekiel 25:17. Costumes were imitated, scenes were parodied. Quentin wasn't just a director anymore. He was a phenomenon, an icon, but some criticized. Tarantino is a stealing director, takes from Godard, from blaxploitation, from kung fu, from spaghetti westerns, not original. Quentin responded calmly. Yes, I take, because I love, but I create something new. This isn't stealing. It's paying respect, creating cinema memory. He made Jackie Brown, Elmore Leonard adaptation, slower, more mature, quieter. Gave Pam Grier, blaxploitation queen, a role. Quentin had slowed down. Every film doesn't have to be an explosion, he said. Critics were surprised. Box office was low, but some understood. Quentin was growing up. Years passed after Jackie Brown. Quentin didn't make a new film. 6 years. What's he doing? People asked. He was writing, thinking, watching cinema. Still, every night, because he never stopped watching. 2003 and 2004. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. Kung Fu, Samurai, Spaghetti Western, anime, Morricone music, Shaw Brothers aesthetic, everything. All his favorite films in one pot. Quentin brought all his cinema love together. "This is my love letter," he said, "to cinema, to my childhood, to those years between the shelves." Uma Thurman was Beatrix Kiddo. Yellow costume, samurai sword, rage, and maternal love. Quentin created the role with Uma. It took years. "Without Uma, this film wouldn't exist," he said. Respect, trust, collaboration. Quentin always believed in his actors. Inglourious Bastards, World War II, but not history. Fantasy. Hitler is killed in a cinema. Nazis burn inside a film. Quentin changed history. "Cinema can rewrite history," he said, "at least in our imaginary world, and sometimes imagination is more powerful than reality." The Hans Landa role. Quentin searched for an actor for months. No one was right. Then he saw Christoph Waltz. He knew at the first reading. "This is Hans." Waltz got the role and won an Oscar. Quentin smiled. "I just wrote it. He brought it to life." Django Unchained. Slavery, rage, revenge, freedom. Quentin touched America's darkest period. Harsh, merciless, but honest. "This isn't easy," he said, "but I'm doing what's necessary because cinema must confront reality." There were controversies. Spike Lee criticized. Quentin didn't back down. Jamie Foxx played the freed slave, and the world watched. The Hateful Eight. 8 people, 1 cabin, snowstorm, betrayal. Agatha Christie meets spaghetti western, 70mm film, not digital. Quentin resisted. "Film isn't dead," he said, "and I'll keep it alive, because cinema is physical. Light, celluloid, projection." Once upon a time in Hollywood. 1969, Los Angeles. Hippie era, Hollywood changing, death of the old system. Quentin looked back. "This is the Hollywood of my childhood," he said, "and I'm saying goodbye to it, because that Hollywood no longer exists." In the film, Sharon Tate doesn't die. The Manson family is defeated. Quentin changed history again. With imagination. "Cinema can provide justice," he said. "Those lost in real life, we can win on screen. This is cinema's power." Quentin announced, "I'll only make 10 films, then I'll stop." People were shocked. "Why?" Quentin answered, "Because I want quality, not quantity. Because I want to age but not become an old director. And because cinema is a young art." He's writing his final film. The Movie Critic. 1970s, a film critic. Quentin is returning to where he started. To video archives. To that boy between the shelves. Full circle. Today, Quentin Tarantino is 61, approaching 10 films. And the world waits with curiosity. But Quentin isn't rushing, because he never rushed. He didn't at video archives either. He just watched, learned, loved, lived, and then created. Quentin Tarantino's films are the footprints his childhood left between those shelves. Every dialogue echoes from a film he watched. Every scene is the rebirth of a moment he loved. He didn't steal, he remembered. And he translated his memories into a new language, the language of cinema. The journey that began in that video store's dusty shelves is now ending on cinema history's brightest pages. And Quentin is still that child, in front of the screen, watching excitedly. So how will you remember Quentin Tarantino? As the director who created films, or as that video store clerk who transformed cinema love into movies? Share with us in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another journey through the legends who wrote cinema history by their own rules.